It's always like your birthday with a package from China, so let's go. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So this video we are going to take a close look at the model number X51. So this is from the X series and nothing to do with the X-Men. But I wanted to review it because I really like these X series because they are very cheap. But this is different. And what do I mean different? So this model, yeah I know. Oh, again, the freaking switch colors, you know, like they keep doing it. I wanted to order a different color, but I wasn't. So when it comes to the X series, this thing is quite expensive. Like it's almost double the price that you're normally paying for it. Like normally these things go around $30. And yeah, it was absolutely like double the price. But the question remains, is this thing actually worth it? I can tell you already, yes it is. It comes with a Type-C connection, so we're finally done with those micro USB versions. And yeah, some quality pass, whatever. And that's it, nothing more inside the box. But let's take a close look at the handheld itself. Okay, so the overall design is something we have seen many times before, especially when you're looking at the X series handhelds. But you're paying double the price when you're typical paying for it, what I already mentioned before. But this thing feels quite nice. So when you're looking at the form factor, it's very comfortable. And that's the first thing that I was very excited about. It has a very nice weight to it. Also when you're looking at the overall quality, it got these nice rubber strips. It gives you a little bit better grip. And also the shoulder buttons, everything feels more legit. The only downside is that they're putting the analog stick over here. I personally really love to switch it out, but it is more like a personal thing. When you're looking at the left side, we do have the Nintendo Switch clone joystick. The reason I'm saying clone joystick, now normally while the Switch we do have the click, we doesn't have it in here. So we have the D-pad. And the D-pad, oh man, that makes it really exciting. Because this thing feels absolutely great. It does, it got just a really nice touch to it. And I must say that the feel is great, but also when you're going to play some games, it plays absolutely great. And over here we do get ourselves a back button over here, a very clicky one. Ooh, that sounds really cheap. So at the right side we're going to get the select, the start, the cheap quality feel buttons. And an analog stick that we're not going to use very often because of the retro games don't support it. And here we're going to get the A, B, X, Y and stuff. But the downside to these things, they are very small. Not to the point that they're being unplayable. Got a very nice touch to it. But they are very small. So when you're looking at the top, we do get so many different connections, and that is something you don't see often with the X-Serie handhelds. We do have two USB ports, and basically what you can do is add a controller, micro SD, and we have a Type-C for charging, and here we do have a headphone jack out for the people like that. But the most interesting thing is that we have a mini HDMI. And with a mini HDMI, we can basically turn this thing in a handheld into a retro Gamebox Predator, and that's pretty damn cool. When it comes to the HDMI port, I really like it. The way how everything works, including the software. You just plug it in and you can just play. Not like the shenanigans we have seen with this X61s. You know, like the first ones, you need to configure everything and it really works like shit. But let's try some games and I will show you how it actually works on the television. Alright, so let's load up a game. So when you're basically plugging in the freaking cable, everything will be redirected to the television. But I do kind of funny that you still can use the original display in the system itself. So the idea is pretty damn cool and it works very well. So I must say that I'm very pleased with the HDMI functionality. But how about the shoulder buttons? We do get an interesting configuration. We do get ourselves your typical membrane button over here. And I really love the angle. That gives you a better, let's say, touch to the controls when you're holding it. And then we have the left, let's say the L1, the R1. We do get a micro switch. I personally really like it. But when holding the handheld, you can reach both buttons fairly easy. I personally really like it. That's just the way how this thing feels and actually how it plays. So I'm just going to be honest. I think this is going to be one of my favorite systems when it comes to the budget X series. Alright, so at the left we're going to get a physical volume button. So though some of those handhelds don't have it and you need to have a button configuration, not a big deal. But it's very interesting. They have everything that you're going to need, including of course the on and off switch over here, turning it on, and we do get this tiny reset button if needed. But let's turn it on and let's see what we're going to get. I think I didn't hold the button too long. Let's hold it a little bit longer, and here you can see, welcome. But something that I was very excited about is the audio quality in general. I mean, when you're looking at this, we do have a left and right speaker. And actually they're using freaking two speakers now. So let's take a closer look, or better like listen to the audio quality in general. And it goes freaking loud. Oh yeah! Okay, so the first thing I already noticed, and that's why this thing is a little bit more expensive than your typical device. This thing comes with a beautiful display. Where you have like these cheap displays normally, this thing looks absolutely great. But the menu, yeah, that is something we do have seen before. It's a little bit of a kind of a Pandora's box version. So what you're going to get is basically list, type. Let's go to the other one. Here we can choose what kind of system that it's running on. So here you can see this thing is dedicated to especially like the older stuff up to PlayStation 1. So when it comes to compatibility of the emulators, it's nothing like super fancy. It's just your typical, let's say, retro game system. We have seen many times before. We do have a history, favorite list. We do have like the option to search. There is no touchscreen whatsoever if you wonder, and you just need to search games. So let's take a close look at this, and it's kind of weird and clunky. So let's say I'm choosing no. Oh crap! See, delete. I think it just deletes everything now. No, I don't really like this. Like, it doesn't work for me. Alright, so let's try it again. Let's choose SO for Sonic. Let's see if I can press search. You know, I don't really like it, to be honest. Like, I need to fill in the full name, but here you can, so it just shows everything with SO, so it seems to be working. Let's see, eject keys off. I think you can just change it out over here. So you need to get used to it. So let's fill in. Man, I'm messing that up again, you know. I don't know what it is, but I'm pressing the button. Yes. Yes, come on. Let's try it again. But this is what I mean. Like, they used all kinds of weird names. Like, what the hell is U-Sonic Origin Supersonic Welcome? You know, like, what the hell is going on with this? So, I'm not a big fan of those. Okay, here you can basically, like, if you want to, like, sideload files, you can basically implement to the file list and implement them here. You can go to a certain file and start it up over here. You can see, like, we're going to go into the file list over here. You can choose the certain game. So if you have some issues with the front end, but that's one of the easy ways to play. But let's try some games and let's see how they emulate on this machine. Alright, so I don't like to play the 8-bit games with a joystick. That's the reason I want to have the freaking D-pad and the left top corner. But all the sound effects are here. Nothing sounds weird. So when it comes to 8-bit, it works as a charm. And it got shot right up in the butt. By pressing the return button, what I really like about it, that we do have the option to go into the settings. What you can see over here is that we do have, like, you can mess around with the sound output, keyboard mapping, or better set the controls. But the most interesting thing is we do have like the option to change out the aspect ratio. We have full scale on now, so if you're going to put it scale, go back, all the way back, return to game, and you can see everything is in normal aspect ratio. So if you just want to play like this, it's an option to choose from, and I think that's pretty damn cool. The downside only is when it comes to MAME. Blood Bros is one of those favorite games I love to play. But the audio is completely messed up, and especially the background music. But this is just like a wrong choice of emulator. And unfortunate, there was no way of chaining out what kind of emulator it's running on the background. But sound effects are here. Alright, so next up, let's try some Sonic. Oh yeah, the music goes so loud. But I'm wondering like how the freaking sound delay is. So far so good. Alright, so let's take a close look at some Neo Geo. All the sound effects are here. It's me like saying like I messed up the game, but yeah, the sound effects are here, Wicked. Yeah, absolutely. Don't get the fire. I really didn't like playing with the joystick, you know. Just give me the D-pad. Come on. Here we go. But I can tell you, like, the audio is so loud, if you're going to put it on like 90% volume or 80, it basically hurt my freaking ears. Like, it's so, like, sharp. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, so when it comes to PlayStation 1, they absolutely messed it up here. You can hear the audio is just not like it should be. Oh, Rival School is one of those games I played to death when it comes to back in the days. I've played it so much. But so cool game. Having like 2 discs. You can play the arcade and the story mode. Okay, so let's take a close look. Wow. Okay, so there's a great example how the aspect ratio stuff doesn't really work. Let's go to the screen size, put it full screen. Okay, return to game. Alright, so here you can see like it's normal, like it should be. Then we go to settings, screen size again. Let's see if we can put it on scale. Let's see how it looks now. Okay, no, it's still messed up. Sometimes it does that. I did see it before with my other devices. It runs on basically the same software, but let's put it on full screen. Okay, let's continue. But you can just hear that's actually like being horrible, pretty damn horrible emulation. But now it seems to be running okay. Let's see, I can do some simple moves. And this is what I mean with the D-pad. The D-pad is very responsive. You need to get used to it. You really need to press hard on this. Let's try the other angle. Oh boy, I must say, like, for fighting games, the D-pad is very disappointing. Because you need to get used to it. Here you can see, like, I need to press it very hard. But for me, like, this is not the way how it should play with PlayStation 1. I really love the cheat button over here. You can just do an instant super. Alright, let's try a Super NES game. Wow, that doesn't sound like it should be. But you can see, like, when you're going to deep dive into the stuff like this, you can just hear so many freaking issues. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I really like this handheld for what it is, especially when you're looking at for basically, like, when you're playing some beat 'em ups, it's absolutely great D-pad. But again, it's just not positioned on the right position. It's like the D-pad should be here, so I'm always grabbing automatically to the freaking joystick, and I don't like playing with the joystick. The struggle. Also the struggle. You can hear like the device struggles with Super NES. What the hell? Come on, man. Man, oh man, oh man. Alright, so let's do a quick teardown, or it's not going to be very quickly because we need to get the rubber, we need to get these rubber things out. I must say, when you're looking at the way how they made everything, it looks way better than the previous ones we have seen many years before I was just basically testing this one. Yeah, they keep improving it, like the minor things they're doing, and yeah, but the only thing is what I don't understand is like, wow, how they mess it up with the freaking emulation, you know, like MAME, come on. Come on, this is something we've seen many times before. All the issues. It's better actually like than the first one I've reviewed, like the X16, but it's absolutely like to cry for. I'm like, why are they still keep doing those weird things? Like, why are they not testing anything? Let's see if we can find the right Phillips screwdriver. That's a great one. So opening up, and let's see if we can replace the battery and what you can do. I think I need to have my prior tool. ready to go, because most of the time these things are like click together. Alright, let's remove that one. I know the other one. But then overall, like, there are some improvements. For begin with, we do have like 2 speakers now. I'm glad they did, because these things are sounding really great. Again, like, they get in a little bit high pitch when you're going to crank it up with certain games. Like, remove all the freaking screws. There we go. Okay, so when removing the screws, I can see that I'm just going to be removing the SD card to be sure. Alright, so you can open this part up fairly easy. So you can pry it open. Alright, so always a question like, why do I need to pry more? Just see if I can get into the edge over here. I do have like a very thick tool now, so I think that is not super convenient. Ah, there we go. Ah, there we go. Oh crap. The button is falling out. Ah, there we go. So not a lot of parts were clicked together, must be very gentle when opening it up. And let's take a close look on the inside. Oh, I need to fold it open like that. Okay, so this is what we're going to get in the inside. So the way how they made it, it's quite cheap to the cheap, but the thing comes with a very huge battery. I must say that this thing does have like a very crazy battery. I've seen those tiny batteries normally in the X16, and I think that is why you're paying for it. That's the reason why one of those things, why this thing is so freaking expensive. Okay, here you can see like the mainboard itself and everything that comes with it. Oh man, it's going to be in hell putting this thing together, Rick, because some parts need to be assembled in a certain way. But the idea is like we do have like the battery basically like soldered over here. I'm not a big fan of those. Okay, if you just want to replace the battery in the future, like the batteries that you need to do some desoldering, and not everybody likes it. Both of the joysticks have been connected with a ribbon cable over here, so that can be replaced fairly easy. It seems to be this one was a little bit too long. Okay, we need to put this thing back too, like the tape got loose. But that's basically like the connection for the monitor itself. But that's basically like we do have like the speakers over here. They have been connected to the mainboard too, or soldered to it. I wish they just used plugs. It would be so much easier to replace. But that's it, basically what you're going to get in the inside. There's nothing much, so an inverted teardown is not really necessary. I just want to give you an up close to the shoulder buttons over here, and the reason why, because I think it's just a very interesting way how they made it. So here you can see like this is the shoulder button, where you can press with the micro switch over here. But basically this button is laying on top of here, so it's going to be like in hell putting it back together. But I just wanted to show you up close, a quite interesting thing. So basically the back shell holds the back button over here in place. And it's a quite interesting construction if you ask me, but it seems to be working just fine. But when you're looking at the Powkiddy X51, I think it wasn't Powkiddy, I didn't mention it before, but the thing, it doesn't even matter. The X51 is a quite interesting piece of tech. It does have like a lot of positive side, but also the negatives one that are absolutely like overshadowing this product. And I mean, like when you're looking at the D-pad, it's not perfect. Don't get me wrong, for fighting games I really need to get used to it. I did have some problems with my moves. Don't like the placement of the D-pad, and not even talk about the emulation problems we have basically seen now with MAME and Super Nintendo. Let me know in the comments what do you think of this. I want to thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, hit that little bell, and it will be great to see you in the next video.